Other than the obvious reasons to why the foundational or so-called BA fighter are so dominant in boxing, the physicality, speed, athleticism, being able to fight in a rhythm, ring IQ, just the complete package. But the other reasons to why the FBA or so-called BA fighter are so dominant is because boxing fans say so. I know that sounds weird, but that's one of the reasons. The standards and just overall expectations. The foundational Black American or so-called BA fighter is held to a much higher standard. And I know a lot of people hate it when I say that, but that is the truth. That is the truth. Competition versus activity. Okay? The foundational Black American fighter cannot just be active. They have to be active against competition in order to get some type of acknowledgement. I spoke about this many, many times, and there's tons of examples I can give you guys. Okay? But boxing fans, they kind of tell on themselves by having these standards and these expectations, which to me, it's good because the foundational Black American fighter or so-called BA fighter can exceed all expectations or meet those ridiculous standards. But most of these fans prove that the foundational Black American or so-called BA fighter are the dominant fighter. And one of the reasons that goes unnoticed but also noticed is the advantages. The foundational Black American or so-called BA fighter cannot have any advantages inside that ring. They have to be the ones to give up all the advantages. And I'm talking about physical advantages. I remember when Tank fought Leo Santa Cruz, and I remember this like it was yesterday. Boxing fans were pissed off when Gervonta and Leo signed to fight each other. And the reasons why they were pissed off, because Tank Davis had his first fight at the lightweight division when he fought Yorkis Gamboa. So a lot of fans thought that Leo was going to jump from 130 to fight Tank at 135. And they were against that fight. They were pissed off. They were saying that Gervonta Tank Davis was being a weight bully by putting up Leo Santa Cruz. Now I'm talking about pulling him up to the lightweight division. But the moment they found out that Tank was going back down to 130, it was a sense of relief from the boxing community. They were happy. They actually thought that Leo had a chance when they found out that Tank was going back down to 130. Now, the reasons why they felt that Leo had a chance is because Gervonta struggled to make 135 when he fought Yorkis Gamboa. And for him to come down another weight class, a weight class that he moved away from, boxing fans thought that Gervonta Tank Davis was going to be drained come fight night against Leo Santa Cruz. So they thought that Leo had the physical advantages. So that's why they talked about this fight a lot, leading up to Gervonta Tank Davis sparking Leo Santa Cruz. The foundational Black American or so-called BA fighter cannot have any physical advantages inside that ring. If they do, we will hear about it. We will know and hear about it. Boxing fans will talk about it. They will say things to degrade the FBA or so-called BA fighter for having some type of physical advantages. Majority of the boxing fans want the physical advantages, want the non-foundational or so-called non-BA fighter to have all the physical advantages against the foundational or so-called BA fighter. I mean, Bud jumped up practically 3 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. And no one cared. No one even had a conversation about that. Everybody thought it was okay. But when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo at a catch weight of 152 pounds, we've heard about it. That was one of the biggest conversations here in this community. Boxing fans disrespected Floyd Mayweather for fighting Canelo at a catch weight of 152 pounds, even allowing Canelo to rehydrate, because Canelo did rehydrate. He rehydrated back up to 165 pounds. He had a 15-pound weight advantage against Floyd Mayweather, but that wasn't enough. that 15-pound weight advantage was not enough. Even though Canelo still was able to rehydrate, that 15-pound weight advantage was not enough. The fact that Floyd Mayweather had some type of physical advantage, boxing fans complained about it because they didn't want Floyd Mayweather to have any advantages against Canelo. And what does that say? What does that say about the foundation of Black American fighter? Because this is real stuff here, people. All you gotta do is tune in on social media, and especially boxing social media. You will see the disrespect that the foundational or so-called BA fighter receives if he has even an ounce of an advantage over a non-foundational or so-called non-BA fighter. You will hear about it. That's because they will talk about it. And this is real. This is real stuff. Gervonta Tank Davis got disrespected the moment him and Leo Santa Cruz signed to fight each other because boxing fans thought that Leo was going to jump up to 135 and fight Tank. But Shakur is jumping up to 140. Notice how that's not even a conversation. No one cares. Why is it that the foundation of Black American, or so-called BA fighter, has to be the one to give up some type of physical advantages? Why can't they be the one to have most of the advantages? When Floyd fought Oscar De La Hoya, and this is not talked about enough, Oscar De La Hoya had everything to his advantage. The only thing that Oscar did not have to his advantages is youth. That's it. He had everything to his advantage. From the size, the rings, the glove, the money, the judges. He had everything. But people still give Floyd Mayweather hell for being in a close competitive fight with Oscar De La Hoya. Mind you, Floyd Mayweather wasn't even a full-fledged welterweight before fighting Oscar De La Hoya at the junior middleweight division. But if it was the other way around, we know what the conversation would be like. Hell, just go back to the conversation when Floyd fought Canelo. Floyd Mayweather Jr. weight drained Canelo. That's the conversation. That is the conversation. Floyd Mayweather weight drained Canelo, even though he didn't weight drain Canelo. But that is the conversation. Because Floyd Mayweather has some type of a physical advantage over Canelo Alvarez, even though he didn't have, in my opinion, any physical advantage over Canelo. But he made it to where Canelo couldn't come in weighing 175 pounds. I guess you could say that's somewhat of an advantage for Floyd Mayweather, because Canelo, when he fought at 154, he usually hydrated back to 175. And when he fought Floyd, he only hydrated to 165 pounds. He still had a 15-pound weight advantage over Floyd Mayweather. But people call Floyd Mayweather a coward for that. They call him a coward. That's because boxing fans know who the dominant fighter is. I'm no big LeBron James fan. But like I said in the past, I respect LeBron James. I respect his game. A lot of people today hate LeBron James. They hate him for what he says on social media. That's what they hate him for. But they use their hate as a way to take away his game. But not knowing that they're secretly admiring LeBron James by including him in a conversation with Michael Jordan. Everyone believes that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And LeBron James is always compared to Michael Jordan. LeBron James is always compared to Kobe Bryant. These guys, they're tied together. LeBron and Jordan never played against each other, but they're always in a conversation with each other. Always. That's because people think LeBron James is one of the GOATs. Because if he wasn't one of the GOATs, people would not include LeBron James in a conversation with a GOAT. You know, I'm an AI fan, but you never hear anyone comparing Allen Iverson to Kobe Bryant nor Michael Jordan. That's because Allen Iverson is not a GOAT. He's one of the best players of his time, but he's not a GOAT. People know exactly what they're doing. Okay? Like I said, a lot of people hate LeBron James. but they secretly admire him by including him in a conversation with another GOAT. When it comes to boxing, people secretly admire the foundational Black American, also called BA fighter, by having these ridiculous standards for them, by always wanting them to take the tougher route.